Maybe you could just tell me about your own family, where you came from and all that.
Well, we lived in Morrison's Avenue, and I went to school in the presentation, and then my dad used to go fishing and everything, and then he died when he was 54. So I went to London when I was 14, over to my grandmother, and obviously I had to come back home then to go back to school. And then I went to the glass factory, and we used to wear pop socks. And I remember we were going in one morning, we were in the decoration department, the writing, and this guy stopped Mr. Batchick, and he said to him, I didn't know, he said, we were employing schoolgirls. And Mr. Batchick thought it was very funny. He was a German man, but a lovely man. So I went back to London then again, and I worked in London, and I trained for restaurant. I trained up in City of London. I was up in Threadneedle Street, and I was to look after all the barristers, you know, junior barristers from all over the world, Irish barristers, a whole lot, lovely people. And I was going with Tony at the same time, and we decided then, when I was 18, 19, we get married. So I didn't want to get married in London. I wanted to come home. So we did, but a lot of red tape, you know, letters of freedom and, you know, all that kind of thing. But we came home, we got married, and we went back to London for about 3 years. So Tony wasn't mad about London. He wanted to come home because he couldn't just take us a day to get for him to go fishing in Hastings, you know, and then drive back up to London. So I said, fine, we'll come home. So I came home to have my first daughter, and then Tony came over and we went back, and then we decided to come home. So we came home in 1963, and we had nowhere to live, and Tommy McLaughlin, he owns the pub, he gave us the 2 rooms up over the pub, and that's where we lived for about a year, maybe a year and a half. And then we got the house in St. John's Park. So we were out there for years and years. And I love St. John's Park. You know, lovely neighbours out there, and they're all lovely people, you know. So my girls went to school in the John of Gods, and then Fiona and Niamh went to the John of Gods, but Emer, my youngest girl, she went to the Ursuline, and I got involved in the Ursuline, and I used to work as well, like, you know. I worked in the Reg for a while. I worked in the Wimpy, and then I went to work for Noel O'Brien, and I opened Bewley's for him, and I was there for years. But I was still in St. John's Park, and I collected for the church when they were building the church, you know, all that thing, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
I loved there.
Just to go right back to where you started from. You were born in Morrison's Avenue.
That's right, yeah.
And your mum, what was her name?
Elizabeth Stone.
Stone.
Mm-mm.
And your dad's name?
Thomas Croke.
Croke.
Yeah.
And you were saying too that the Stones had their origins in England.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
my granddad.
Tell us a little bit about them.
I don't know much about him because I never met him. So when I went to England, my granddad was dead. So it was only my uncle, Jerry, that I used to be in contact. He brought me up to see horse carriage parade, and he took me to Whitehall, and he took me over to see where he used to do the minutes, for the parades. That's what he used to do, and that's when he took me to horse carriage parade, and he was showing me everything.
So he was in the British Army.
He was, yeah.
And you said, was it your grandmother was in service? Was it?
She was, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about her.
For what I can remember of her, she was a tall, lovely, lovely lady. I never wore anything only black. But I give you a laugh. When my uncle got the MBE from the Queen, my grandmother and my Uncle Jerry's wife, they went. It's only immediate family. And they were all sitting in the big hall, and the footman was going around, and he said to my grandmother, "What would you like to drink, madam?" And she said, "I'll have a cup of tea, by." And he went away, and he came back with a silver tray and everything done. And all we could do, and she told us when she came back, all we could do was laugh. I'll have a cup of tea, by. She never lost. She never lost that, but she was a lovely lady, an absolute lady.
And then growing up in Morrison's Avenue, what do you remember of it?
Pardon?
What do you remember of Morrison's Avenue when you were small?
Oh, we used to have great fun up there. Skipping, playing beddies, all those things. And, it was lovely. I remember we used to have to go down to the dairy for the milk. And I was sent down for the milk one day, and it was in a can, and I was walking up Morrison's Avenue, and this dog came over to me, and he knocked the can out of my hand, and I ran, of course, and he drank all the milk. I nearly got killed when I went up home. Lovely memories.
Okay, and did you like going to London when you were young? Like you said, you went to London when your father died first, is it?
Yeah, well, he was dead, we'll say, a few months before I went off.
And what did he work at, your father?
He was a stevedore for Croaks. Do you remember the Croaks? No?
Oh yeah, I remember the name.
And a cousin of his was the mayor.
Okay.
That's what he done.
And who was the mayor at that time, did you say?
I don't know whether my dad's cousin was mayor there, but he was mayor at one stage.
Okay. And he didn't have an accident on his ship or anything, he just died.
Yeah, he had hit him. I can't remember. The bucket that they used to swing.
Yes. Something
of that gave and caught him on the leg. He took away all the part of his leg, and they couldn't heal it. So he died when he was 54.
So that must be very tough on your mother.
It was very, very tough, because there were 6 of us under 16.
Okay.
But she was a good person. She had to go to the jewel factory to work.
How did she, so she had to go to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she went up to the jewel factory. And do you remember the jewel factory?
Yes, I do. She was only around the corner from us, you see. The building is still there, but...
Yeah. What do you remember of it?
I just remember my mum going over on different shifts, and my sister was only 11 months when my dad died, and I remember her coming home and doing the wash. You come home from school and you'd hear her singing, and she'd be out in the kitchen and she'd be washing on those boards, and she was a happy person. But she missed my dad. Yeah. I remember when she went into St. Patrick's, and I used to go up every night to her. And I was going up the corridor one night, and the lady said to me, she was a nurse, she said to me, "Who's Tommy?" And I said, "That's my dad." I said, "Why is that?" And she said, "Oh, your mum was looking for him all day."
And what songs would she sing when she said she was doing the washing?
"I'll Be Your Sweetheart." All those type of songs, she's a lovely voice. Yeah, all those type of songs she used to sing. She was a very happy person, even though she had to work very hard, you know, for all us. She did her best, really did her best.
And did they get any compensation when your father died? Like,
No, because it was years afterwards, you know. The leg never healed,
okay,
and it was years afterwards.
okay.
But them days they never gave you anything, you know. He never drank, but he loved his cigarette, you know. So he did. He was a good dad, the best. We used to say to him, is your money down in your sock, Dad? Because when we'd be looking for money, you know, he'd go down like this. You know, he was,
Deep pockets.
oh, definitely, yeah.
And did he have? Did you have uncles and aunts around Waterford and all that?
Yeah, my dad's brothers.
Okay.
Because my dad was born up in, what do you call it? They had a small farm up in Gracedew,
Okay.
and my granddad was dreadful drinker, and I mean dreadful drinker. And they lost the farm over it. Yeah, and all his brothers drank as well, except he had one sister. But I remember saying to him, Dad, why did you never drink? Well, he said, we lost everything through drink. My brothers, he said, as you know. He never drank. He used to go down to the pub, Croke's pub on the quay, all right, and he'd have a cigarette and he'd play darts, and if he won, they'd buy him cigarettes, because he never drank. You know?
Yes, which is probably unusual at that time, wasn't it? I say it was unusual at that time.
It was unusual, yeah, because when they finished work, it was go straight to the pub,
Yeah.
you know, from the ship over to the pub. That's all they had to do.
And what do you know what ships he used to unload and all that?
Oh, I haven't a clue.
Okay.
No.
And then, so you said you met your husband. Where did you meet your husband?
Here in Waterford. This is his home.
Okay.
You know?
So he's from O'Brien Street.
Yeah.
Okay. And you moved out to St. John's Park. What was your earliest memory out there? What do you remember out there when you first moved out?
I remember when we got the house. It was in a dreadful state. So that was the first thing we had to do, you know.
Yeah.
But my girls loved it, and I worked, so I didn't see much of the people, you know, because I worked all the time. And if I was home in the mornings, I might go see two of the people when I go down to O'Regan's shop. But I got involved in collecting for the church, and I got to know lots of the people then, yeah.
And what do you remember? Who was on the committee at that time?
Oh God, I haven't a clue. I was trying to think the other night myself now. I can't remember who was on it.
Okay.
So far back now, I can't remember.
Well, what was the priest at that time?
Oh dear, can't remember his name. No, I can't remember his name.
And the girls, you said they were two of them were up in St. John of God and one was over in Yourstown. And why did one decide to go over there and not Victoria?
No, the girls, Niamh and Fiona, were coming to the age, because you only stay in the John of God's until 6th standard or something. So the girls were going to the Ursuline. So Emer wasn't born until 10 years after Niamh. So Tony said to me, wouldn't it be better now to put her over to the John of God's? The girls could take her up and down, but they wouldn't, you know. I ended up still having to go down for her.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take her. You know? So.
And what did Tony work at?
He was a carpenter and a cabinet maker. He made all that furniture.
All right. And who did he work for in Waterford?
He worked for Murphy's when we came home first, and then he went out on his own, and he had Daisy Joinery down by where Tesco's is now,
Yes.
around there.
Yeah.
and they used to do their work from there. And then he got into making the rocking horses. So we sent the rocking horses all over the world.
Good.
Yeah. He was brilliant at it. I have one upstairs. It's not finished. But you would not believe the people have got in contact with me to know would I give it to them. And I said, no, it's staying where it is. And then I decided I'd get John Sharp. Tony used to be with him to do it, because John is a nice guy. And his wife told me he's in the early stages of dementia, so, you know. So the horses...
It's a family heirloom.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't part with it. Honestly, I would not part with it. One of the horses, there's a picture of it up there. And he made that little horse for me. It was called a doll's horse. So he made that for me. One lady rang me from England, and she said, I'd like to get 3 horses made, please. Which he done, and they were beautiful. And we shipped them to England. And when she got them, she rang and she said to me, I must say, she said, they're absolutely beautiful. They were 6 foot high, you know, and everything had to be perfect. You know, he didn't skimp on anything. Everything had to be perfect.
He must have been good then.
Oh, he was brilliant. Yeah. I mean brilliant now. Loved his work. Absolutely loved his work. So he did.
And Kitty, don't you go right back to when you were a child and the older people at that time? Can you remember any of the kind of you know, the kind of things that they used to believe in those days, which people don't believe now, like whether it be the fairies or the banshee, or you know, different things. Like there was always traditions about you leave things out on a certain date and all that kind of stuff. And do you remember any of those old ones?
No. The only one that sticks in my mind the whole time is when my youngest sister was born. I said to my mum, where'd you get her? And she said, under a head of cabbage. And that's the only thing I can remember. I can't remember, you know, any of these.
The old sayings and stuff.
No.
Okay. And you know, when you came back to Waterford first, where would you have gone socialising? Where was it? Where did you have the fun?
Well, we had the girls, so it was hard. Like, well, we went out. We were going to the Commodore down in the Apple Market.
All right.
We was to go there for a drink. We'd have to get a babysitter, you know. But some nights then I worked, you know. So.
And would you ever get to any dances right like that? Or?
Yeah, I used to love the Olympia.
Okay.
I loved it. Betty. I went to Betty Bible and Billy Mulcahy. Do you remember those? That's where I learned ballroom.
Okay, so you're a good dancer.
Well, I think I was.
Was Tony into it as well then?
No. He didn't like it at all. No.
Okay.
Didn't like it at all. He just loved his fishing.
And where did he go fishing?
Well, we go to the Salines or, you know, go places like that. And he made a canoe. It's out in my daughter's house out in Butlerstown.
Oh.
Yeah, they have it covered up. Yeah, there's a picture of it in the hall there. And he loved going to different places, you know. The last place we were in now was Cuba.
Good. So he loved to go travelling?
Oh, I loved it, yeah. We were in America a few times, Canada, because Tony's sister lived in America. And then we went to Mexico. Mexico is gorgeous. And then he decided, I don't know who told him or whatever, he said to me, would you like to go to Cuba? And I said, I don't mind, it don't make any difference to me. So we went off to Cuba. And we stayed a month out there.
Good.
And they're absolutely the nicest people you ever met in your life.
What year was that?
how far back now? I can't remember whether we were living up here. No, we weren't. I think we were living in St. John's Park when we decided the first time to go. No, I can't remember the year.
Okay.
We went out at Christmas another time.
You went a couple of times?
We went about 10 times.
This Cuba? Stop.
It's some journey. When we start going first...
And do you speak Spanish or the
No. But when we went out first, we had to fly to Heathrow and then get a plane out to Cuba. But then they start flying from Dublin. And when we went out there first,
that was
just the dollar, yeah,
Aeroflot.
and the dollar. And Castro asked, I don't know which president it was now, to lift sanctions. And they wouldn't. So Castro went into the euro. So their money is euro now. We never had to change our money after that. Like, it was a lovely country. Yeah. I saw Castro from the distance now. It was a demonstration he had, you know. And we went to see the Bay of Pigs. That's what they called, where they defeated the Americans. And we went to Revolution Square, all them places, you know, and they have the biggest training college in the world. All go out there, or the doctors and that go out there for the training.
Medical people.
Oh, they are, yeah. Well, we got to know boy and girl, and when their little boy was born, they asked us will we be godparents. So we said, yeah, we would, we'd love it. So we went out when he was getting christened, and they decided to call him Kevin Roy, and that's what they called, yeah.
And that's really interesting. So, I mean, and the people over there really love Castro, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Rual is there now because Castro's not well.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it wasn't like as if he was an oppressor. You know.
Oh, no, they loved him. Absolutely loved him. No matter what part you went to in Cuba, you know. They thought the world of him. It was when he went to do the demonstration at the time over the Americans, there was a couple of million people walking behind him. You know? I didn't, you know, there probably were security men and everything there, but we didn't see anything. It was like a party, playing music and everything, you know. But it's a fantastic country.
And where did Tony get that kind of yearning to go off and see the world? Where was that coming from?
Well, he was always reading, and he always wanted to go different places. So when he said to me, would you go to Cuba? I said, I will. You know, it don't matter to me where we go. And we went down to the travel agents, and it was all arranged.
It's a great adventure, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely. I have lovely memories, you know, of everything. What we done and where we went. And what's his name? Kevin Ryan, there must be about, he could be 12 or 14 now, you know.
And just in relation to your own daughters and St. John's Park, I mean, how did they go on out there? Because, like, did they like living out there?
Oh, yeah, Emer bought our house, and she's still in St. John's Park.
Okay.
My daughter, she bought the house then when we decided to come in here. And when we came in here, I said, Tony, I'm not going to live in that house. You know, the real old houses. And he said, no, I'm going to do it. And he took away the stairs. It was only a ladder for the stairs. I don't know how Granny went up and down. That's Tony's mother, because she was heavy. And you put new stairs and everything into it, yeah. And he loved this house. Absolutely loved it. Yeah.
It's handy for town, isn't it?
It's grand for town, yeah.
And so your daughters then, they obviously they liked living out there. You heard the whole thing about John's Park had a kind of a tough reputation?
It had, yeah, it had. But I think they were just growing up and, you know, boys were just growing up and didn't know what they wanted, didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And the arches were open at the time and used to run through the arches and make noise, you know. So then they closed up the arches. But there's lovely neighbours out there, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Cavanagh, now that I live next door to, they were brilliant, lovely people now. And then they moved out to Lismore. So I was lost when they went, but our daughter took over the house then, you know. Okay. And then the Powers were next door to them, and they were lovely. You know, they were all lovely people. Kennedys were living there, you know. But you just don't know, do you?
Okay, Kitty, that's great. Is there anything you want to ask you?
Not particularly, no.
No. That's great. Kitty, thanks a million for doing that interview.
No problem.
It's really interesting to hear the story of everything from your grandparents right through to Tony and Cuba and all that. That was really interesting. Mm. Thanks very much.
You should go to Cuba.
Oh, I have been there before.
Have you?
Yeah, I was there.
Can you remember the name of the big hotel in Havana?
Oh, jeez, no.
I can never remember it.
My wife might know now.
And we stayed there.
Oh,